Everybody seemingly wants to know if the Bitcoin bottom is in, and I've got a spoiler for you. None of them have any idea, but obviously there is analysis showing that it could be in, showing that it could go lower. But I think at the core, everybody just wants to understand when all this contagion is likely to end. We can shake out all of the bad actors, all the bad behavior, all of the problems that we have with the industry and rise from the ashes like the Phoenix of old. If you're wondering why I was late today, it's because right when I was signing on, I ended up having a delivery truck show up and was taking apart furniture and thought I was going to have to cancel, but I made it. I made it, and I'm here. I'm here with Misha Lederman today, my friend from Klever, who's going to discuss all these important topics with me. Let's go.
Let's go.
What is up, everybody? I am Scott Melker, also known as the Wolf of Wall Streets. Before we get started, please subscribe to the channel and, I don't know, sit down in shame on the like button. You'll probably hit other buttons while you're doing it, but maybe you'll write a poem with your ass when you sit on the like button on accident. Yeah, been a rough ride, guys. Obviously, I poured my heart out, I guess, to some degree, if that's what we can consider that, yesterday, talking about my losses in CFI. Well, hard, too early to judge, but obviously that story has potentially gotten worse. I will discuss it more later after the guest. But Voyager obviously has filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy for our benefit, doing it for the people. Yeah. And so obviously I checked the list and it was like client, unsecured creditor, unsecured creditor, unsecured creditors. The clients are unsecured creditors, meaning that supposedly will probably be at the back of the line. But I will tell you this. I don't want to comment too early until I have more information. And now that they have publicly declared the bankruptcy intention, presumably they can talk again, right? And so the moratorium on silence, which I know has been extremely hard for all of them at all of these companies, at least for Voyager, will be up. So I can tell you that I intend to have a lot of conversations and pass on a lot of information. I did actually start to get at least some mild responses saying, maybe we can talk to you today. So I'm looking forward, obviously, for my own benefit to getting more information there. Hopefully everybody is made whole. I would imagine that the most likely scenario is that people are made partially whole and not necessarily with the assets that they were holding on the platform. But that is pure conjecture. So listen, at the bottom line, everything's kind of fucked up, right? It's hard to pull punches. The contagion has spread else beyond what any of us sort of expected. Maybe there were some people actually who expected it. But that doesn't change the core ethos of anything that's being built. It just means that we have to pay attention to those who are acting properly and those, obviously, who are greedy, including us who parked our money on these platforms for yield, right? Without truly taking into account how risky it might be to earn that yield, right? But at the end of the day, what always happens in every bear market cycle is that we all mentally capitulate. Everyone says it's dead. Everyone says it's going to zero. And then the best projects rise and become massive, massive winners in the next cycle. And I think we all believe that there will be a next cycle. Now, for me, with so many of my coins gone, the next cycle will be a little less eventful because now I don't have the coins to ride back up on the way up. I got to forcibly have them liquidated on the way down. Good times for all. But today I do have Misha Lederman from Klever, and we're going to discuss exactly what I just said, that I find him to be a very positive voice at all times, very even, and I think that he'll have some thoughts on how we do rise from this and do better. Misha, how are you, man?
I am great, Scott. I've shared in your grief, in your pain, in your hurt, as of course many of your listeners, audience, and your community. But like you said, I do believe in a better and more hopeful future, and that's what we do here at Klever.
Okay, well, listen, I'll give you the chance to talk about that.
The thing is this: we've all experienced and seen the greed that has kind of built greed upon greed upon greed upon greed. So 3AC collateralized loans being just on unsecured channels, and the bubble has clearly popped. And this is an opportunity. to make a better blockchain ecosystem. There's nothing better than now. There's no better opportunity than to build sustainably, making sure that you have growth through your own revenue streams. At Klever, we have no VCs. We built a company of over 200 developers, 3 million users, many different products and platforms. No one backing us, no one telling us what to do. Why? Because we sustain ourselves with our own revenue. And that is the only way to actually approach this. And there's another way: responsible innovation. Responsible innovation means that we can't just go out and think that we can lend, borrow, give yields that essentially are unsustainable. We have to find a way back to a better foundation. And I think there's a lot of opportunities to work, not just with legitimate industry players, but also with a lot of regulators and nation states to bring blockchain to the next level.
So that then leads to the next question: is, now that we've given regulators every single piece of ammunition they could possibly ever need to drop the hammer completely on the industry, what do you think that looks like, and how do we move forward if we end up seeing sort of the worst case scenarios from regulators?
You and I were about to meet in Austin at Senator Loomis' event held by Jan Van Eck. Super interesting to see her lay out her entire bill, very comprehensive one. Yes, it gives a lot of ammunition to regulators, but it also highlights a lot of the fears and concerns that perhaps were legitimate. And we have to weed out those industry players that were taking advantage of the system. And I think the most important part here is that we have to look into ourselves, self-reflect, and say, we have to be better than the fiat legacy system. If we use the same fiat debt bubble of printing money and essentially bloating ourselves into the same fiat system that's already in place, instead of trying to replace it with a more sustainable, more efficient, and more fair ecosystem, we're going down the wrong way.
I mean, I tend to agree, but obviously the problem here, and we always rise from these exact same problems, it's just the breadth of how many new entrants into the crypto space are suffering as a result of this contagion, right? It's going to be very hard to jump onto a platform in the future and say, hey, I want to earn some crypto yield. That seems safe, right? So even if you are a company that's behaving differently, I would have to imagine that you're getting the same questions.
Yeah, but at the same time, new users are suffering, new platforms are suffering, but there's enough growth and enough potential inside of blockchain, inside of crypto, and inside of Web3 to propel ourselves without these yields. I used to play poker as a younger adult, and there was always this saying that, you know, if you look around the table and you don't know who the sucker is, you're it.
You're the fish.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. The same thing with the yields, right? If you don't know where the yield come from, you are the yield. And perhaps we don't need those kind of platforms to propel ourselves. We need to provide products that people want, need, and truly can liberate themselves. We need to go back to the values that propelled ourselves to get into this industry in the first place. Freedom, non-confiscatable assets, finite supply that powers the entire crypto economy through Bitcoin, and build through that, not say that, okay, we have all of this money and all of this capital flowing into us. Now we need to collateralize ourselves and yield off and grow in a way that is simply not sustainable. This is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And in order to keep ourselves going, we need to jog along in a very sustainable way.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. So listen, since the topic of the stream officially is Bitcoin bottom is near, nice clickbait, what do you think about the actual market at the moment?
I think the actual market is in a state of disarray, clearly. I think that your point of seeing a lot of main players capitulating is a very good sign, because we've been through a few cycles. If you've been in crypto for more than 5-6 years, or even 3, 4, you've seen how Bitcoin and crypto rises and dumps and rises from the ashes much stronger. We do have some concerning news around the corner. I think July 28th, 8:30 a.m. EST, we're probably going to get a GDP projection for Q2 that might be minus 1.0%.
It's recession time. Yeah. Yeah.
It is probably recession time. And that, if we talked about contagion in the crypto industry, recession has a more powerful contagion. So what we're doing at Klever, we've just came back from the United States, from Dubai, from Malta. And what we're doing is we're listening and speaking to regulators in these countries to understand their fears, their concerns, and how to address them. And that is the only way that we can somehow build back the trust that's been lost. The reputation of the industry has clearly taken a massive downturn. But that doesn't mean that the convicted players, like you, your community, like me, like our community, and so many millions of others around the world, don't see the power of crypto and blockchain to liberate ourselves to a better future.
Yeah, I mean, you can't see this, but this was from Glassnode, and it's sort of what the topic of the stream was based on. And they basically said that the speculators and tourists are gone, right? They're completely expulsed, was the quote from Glassnode. And that leads into exactly what you just said, right? The tourists are gone. Now it's back to the hodlers and the original OGs and the people who have been here forever to make it rise. Now, to your point, like, I know there's a lot of sort of despair in the community and everyone's freaking out. We all feel it to some degree, but like, let's not kid ourselves. When price goes back up, all the people who said that crypto is dead and they're never coming back, and this was even the ones I said who lost their money in yield, they're all going to FOMO back in. Tails all this time. It's like Beauty and the Beast, right? I mean, that's what happens on every cycle in every single asset. So it's fair to say, I think, and the data is showing it here, that they're gone for now.
Indeed, but they are not gone for good. And I think that's the most important thing when we build back this entire ecosystem in a more sustainable and growth-centric way, which is the ones who left will come back. But they need to come back to products that are simpler, that are easier to use, that are more centric around the user and what they actually need. We have a lot of users in the third world. Nigeria, Ghana, Indonesia, Philippines. For them, crypto is not just an adventure. It's not just an opportunity to propel yourself into potential wealth. It's a need. It's an essential need on how to either get away from government supervision or government control, fiat printing on a level that has never been seen in the history of fiat for the past 50 years since it was incepted. And this need is something we need to address because it's something that continuously goes in the cycle. And if we just provide better products, faster transactions, and an easier way to not only use, but also to build inside a blockchain, we have a really good recipe for success, I believe.
I had to mute because the movers were banging the walls on the outside. But yeah, I agree with you, man. Absolutely. And thank you so much for coming on. Look forward to see what you guys build more. So just looking forward to the end of this absolute madness, man. I think that everybody needs to just like wake up one day and have some good news. It would be really nice, you know, but that has not been the case with this market. So what's your Twitter name? Yeah, it's just Misha Lederman, right? It's spelled out. Is that correct?
Misha Lederman. Correct. At Misha Lederman and at Klever_IO. Check us out. We build different, we build simpler, we'll build faster, and we build with our users and with our community. So check it out.
Yeah. And I'm sorry I missed you at that Lummus event. We had a podcast running late and we just kept on recording and then the event was over. All right, man. Thank you so much. Have a good one and we'll speak very soon.
Thanks, Scott. Peace.
Cool. Guys, Misha Lederman. I'm looking now. There's a lot of There's a lot of comments going on over here. Guys, no, I love that the first thing that people say is that somehow it's like paid content or something. No, absolutely not. At Misha in Miami, we've been following each other for a long time. I respect what they do, but they're not going to be a sponsor of the show moving forward, to my knowledge, which you guys are obviously joking about here. So here we go. Oh, wow, my screen just got super big. So yeah, this is that article we were just referencing. June went bad. June was the worst month for Bitcoin in 10 years. I didn't really realize that until I'd seen this. 37.9%, competing only with the 2011 bear market for the crown of worst month on record. And what's crazy is that, like, it was already historically bad, right? I mean, we came into June, if you recall, I mean, Ethereum until the middle of June hadn't had a green week for like 11 weeks, right? And Bitcoin had 9 down weeks in a row before finally putting in a quote unquote bullish green candle. So this is at the tail end of an already abysmal bear market and run. So anyone who's like, oh man, I can't believe I wasn't here to experience 2018 or 2019 or 2014. Well, this is kind of worse, guys. You're getting the full experience. You bought your ticket. You're getting to ride every single bear market ride that they have at Bear Market Disney World. So, but of course, when market tourists capitulate, and we've seen miners capitulate, and we've seen technical signals which don't matter, like weekly MACD bottoming, it starts to at least feel like a bottom. Like everything you read, ARK put out their statement, all this saying that technically, fundamentally, hash rate, network activity, all the things we're seeing feel like a bear market bottom. But then everybody, like all of us, gives the quick disclaimer. But none of those things were happening when we were entering a recession. The global markets were tearing down. There were wars all over the world. COVID was ravaging 2 people in China. I think it was, I don't know what city it was today, but 2 people in China tested positive. Now they're going to shut down the whole city. 0 COVID. Can we do that? 0 contagion. Can we do that policy for crypto? So yeah, I mean, we are at every signal is flashing bear market ending, and things should eventually even out and go up. But it's hard to expect that when the world is completely shutting down. Flo got his bear market tickets. Is that a minion and a G-string? I respect that. I respect your avatar. It's awesome. I just wonder, like, you could choose literally anything in the world. G-string minion. Maybe you're a G-string strip club enthusiast. I mean, a minion strip club enthusiast, and you got that picture at the minion strip club. I don't know. Tony says my mind has capitulated. My mind is on the border of capitulating. We're all there. Everyone's there. It's just being honest. But that doesn't shake my conviction in Bitcoin. Doesn't shake my conviction in what's possible in the industry. It just, unfortunately for me, shakes my conviction in a lot of the processes and platforms that we've been believing in all this time. And listen, if the ship goes down, I don't know who's going to be in the string quartet with me, but clearly I am the violinist on the Titanic at the moment. Celsius Network repays another 34 million. Bitcoin liquidation price falls below 3K. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy, right? And that makes you think about all the narratives that we've been seeing over and over again. Listen, Celsius fucked up. I'm not denying that for 1 second. But remember, only a couple of weeks ago, it was Celsius will be liquidated at 18,000. That's where price is going to go. Then it was Celsius is at 13,000. This was when the dip to 17,500. Price can't go up again until Celsius gets liquidated. Michael Saylor will be liquidated at 21,000. It's all bullshit. Nobody knows shit, right? So now we do know that their liquidation price, ooh, that was burp, is below 3,000. $2,722. I think at this point, we probably will have bigger problems in the world if Bitcoin gets below 3,000 than Celsius getting liquidated. So that narrative is dead. And it is interesting to see that they are paying off their debts here. You wonder when that money will reach those of you who have been affected by this. It's going to be sort of the same question, I think, as we see these other platforms start to deal with their issues here. They've been paying back their loans on a day-to-day basis. The question is, will there be anything left by the time it gets to you? Oh, guys, big report from Coinbase. Really important. Seems all our news today is from the crypto potato. Everything hot in crypto. Macroeconomic factors to blame for crypto crash with more pain likely to come. Thanks, Coinbase. Way to take your dick out and slice it right off. Shoot yourself in the foot. Take the gun, aim it at your foot, and shoot it. Hey, Coinbase report says our business is going to be fucked more. Macroeconomic, but they said, they approximated, I believe they said 75%. Let me make sure I'm getting that accurate. 2/3. 2/3 of the crypto market, see, you got to read sometimes. 2/3 of the crypto market crash can be attributed to macroeconomic factors. 1/3 can be contributed to being complete fucking assholes and punching ourselves in the face repeatedly and then playing Rochambeau with each other for who can be the worst. If you guys don't know what Rochambeau is, it's when you have a competition for kicking each other in the nuts. Usually the guy who draws the straw to go first in Rochambeau, he wins. He wins. Right? So 2/3, but the other third obviously is that, we sucked. Right? But here you go. It comes as no surprise that worsening macro factors have been the cause of the current crypto bear market. However, Coinbase confirmed the notion in a blog post on July 5th, adding that the other third was caused by a weakening outlook for cryptocurrencies. Rochambeau. Coinbase noted that the correlation between crypto and traditional markets has risen sharply since 2020. This was also the year when pandemic-induced lockdowns were enforced across the globe. And if you're in China and one person gets COVID, have fun staying locked down. Unbelievable. And next story, Crypto.com. You might know them from such hits as we sponsored the Staples Center at the top and ran super sweet ads with famous I think it was Crypto.com Matt Damon. Did they do Matt Damon? Was that blockchain? I can't even fucking remember. My God, man, it's so painful to think back to Super Bowl time. Crypto's on the main stage. There's going to be a Bored Ape. All our favorite platforms are sponsoring arenas. It's amazing. We all get caught up in it. It's so embarrassing. Matt Damon. Anyways, Crypto.com CEO Chris Marszalek remains confident about the future of his company despite a recent 5% headcount reduction hitting his team. 5% is nothing. 5% is a Tuesday at a crypto company. If you're not if you're not knocking off 50% of your staff in the first 2 hours, I don't even want to hear. It's not even news. But he's saying it's false clickbait, completely untrue that they have imposed withdrawal restrictions. Just some more FUD and nonsensical news. Moving on to people who have imposed withdrawal restrictions. Voyager seeks bankruptcy protection amid crypto credit crisis. Toronto-based lender filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in New York late Tuesday. Didn't even read the first 10 chapters. Went straight to Chapter 11. So yeah, basically the gist of it from what I said before, from what I understand so far, I saw the list at least on Twitter, if it was true. Unsecured lenders is basically Alameda at 75 million. You have to list the top 50. And then a bunch of people, it said customer and whatever. And it was getting close to me being one of those on the top 10 I saw. Just showed an amount. So listen, there are a lot of ways that Chapter 11 can go down, and I'm not going to pretend to be an attorney. So like I said, I'm going to make some calls now, expecting to speak to somebody there this afternoon, hopefully, and try to understand this better. A lot of people who have vetted it and looked at it and hit me up said, hey, I think probably we get back 60% of our money. That's pure conjecture. The question is, what form does that money come in? Do I want stock in the future Voyager company and VGX token instead of my Bitcoin and Ethereum? Probably not necessarily. But that could be the reality. That could be the reality of what happens. But listen, like I said, not going to rush to judgment because nothing would make me happier than to just get back my Bitcoin and Ethereum. And that still here is possible. They still have quite a bit of money on their balance sheet. I think it said they had about $1.2 billion still in customer assets. Of course, the 3AC. So basically, it also seemed that maybe some of that sweet 3AC debt was going to get passed on to us. So if 3AC pays it back, cool, then we might get some of our coins or money back. Sweet. I was hoping to get some exposure to 3AC right about now. That was on my bingo card for Wednesday, July 6th was please somebody pass me on some of that sweet 3AC default. That looks like that might also be happening here. This is going to be the story to follow because I think this will sort of be indicative of, it's interesting. We're seeing different paths from each company in the space. We'll see what path they end up taking. One of Wall Street's largest trading firms is hiring crypto trader for the weekends. Virtu Financial is growing its footprint in the crypto market. Now it is on the hunt for a weekend trader to work on its new crypto trading desk. So they have a crypto trading desk, and they only work like their normal trading desks work like 32-hour weeks, and then they go to the Hamptons. So they actually need somebody to show up on the weekend and do this whole 24/7 crypto thing. So if you're looking for a job and you're a competent trader, I don't know, go over there, get a job. Got to be better than the fry line at McDonald's. Got to be better than the fry line at McDonald's. Let's take a really quick look at the chart. I don't know why. Weekly Bitcoin chart right here. Yeah, everyone in the newsletter is like, where are the altcoin charts, bro? Not doing that. Right? So the question here, we have obviously this massive weekly dump. Trading below the 200 MA for 1, 2, 3 closes already. Has never happened before, 200 MA. And currently trading right around that 2017 high. This really is the key area at this point, guys. Below that, we start talking about this 14,000. Obviously, everyone's going to point out because that was the 2019 high when we had that little tasty run. Right? That's the next obvious level here. Going into the daily, we definitely have a bear pennant here. That doesn't mean it will play out. But even Peter Brandt was like, if it smells like a pennant and it looks like a pennant, it's probably you having fun staying poor. That's not what he said. He said it probably is a pennant. But listen, this is a clear bear market, right? High, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, right? At this point, we got to get back up above 33,000 to make a higher high. The good news is that number was like 48,000 before we dumped. So now it's lower to start breaking out of that bear cycle, but we're nowhere close. Nobody wants to hear this, and these don't hit their targets. Like if you believe there's a bear pennant and it breaks down, which you cannot even trade this at all unless it breaks down, but you take, flagpole to the bottom, you extrapolate that as a target, and you're talking about $10,000 Bitcoin. Nobody wants that. Stupid bear pennant. Fuck you. Nobody wants that. And then listen, what ends up happening with most pennants, I've talked about this with bull pennants a lot, is that you go, oh, it breaks out, and you're like, this is awesome. Party time. And then it turns into like, something like this. And it's a bear flag. Cool. But this is just an idea. You never trade just an idea. It's just what could be forming. The confirmation, of course, would be a break of this support. And then what would happen? Inevitably, we'd do this, right? We're all fucked, right? Because DA works so good. Yeah. As Jay said, fuck that pennant. Yeah. Cheap coin. I do kind of want that. Yeah, I mean, we all want cheap coins. Like now you have that sort of like cognitive dissonance where it's like, I want to buy cheap coins, but the cash I was going to do it with is locked up indefinitely and might be paid back in peanuts, Skittles, and fucking unicorn dust. And if it goes way up now, I'm going to be super extra. I want it to go up. Like I obviously want everything to go up. I still hold a lot of crypto, but there's that like sneaking that's like, fuck this. What could have been with the coins that I don't have access to? Yeah. Scott, you know the drill. Hey, what's up? Stonked up. What's good? It's good. Yeah, exactly. Remember when we talked about liquidation versus getting liquefied? My shit actually got liquefied after all of that. Yeah, which is funny because in my back at my pool, I don't know why I was just doing that. You know those that looked like I was. I'm not gonna say it was not intentional. Maybe we'll do it like this. You know those squirt gun things where you put them underwater and you pull the thing back. You don't jerk it off in your face, but you pull the thing back and it loads up and then you spray it. And your kids like love to spray you in the face, but not to, you don't want to. And then they spray you in the face with it. I have one outside that got somehow pulled out of the closet. It's called the Liquidator. I'm going to bring. Remember how I used to have the shib glove? I don't really know where that went. I had the shib glove. I'm going to get the Liquidator and I'm going to bring it in for the streams. And I'm going to spray it at the screen. We go, you get liquidated and you get liquidated and you get liquidated. It'll be fun. First time tuning in the show. Love the vibes. You won't last, Michael. I'm just kidding, man. Welcome. Welcome. Did you sit on the like button with your whole ass and see what it typed? Or did you miss that? Maybe you need to put the liquidator again. I don't know, man. Oh no, we suck again. Is this it?
Oh no, we suck again.
Yeah. Oprah Melker, you get liquidated. You get everybody. Where's the min? It's here. It's here somewhere. You can tell that I relocated, right? I mean, I'm in a different space here, both physically and mentally. I'm gonna bring the liquidated. Scott, we appreciate you. I appreciate you, Drusified, showing up every day, man. Rain or shine, hurricane or COVID, you're always here. Yeah, I'm always here. I literally I even got a splinter to get here in time. I know, guys. Seriously. You know what? Listen, nobody is at nobody. I won't get. I'll get like my thing removed. But you know what? That's.
You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up.
Hey, my shipment.
You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, pump it up, pump it up.
Oh, guys, Gary June's here. He has a question. It's going to be really important. Yes, Gary June. What question do you have today? I'm waiting. It's good setup. Good setup. I'll never leave you either because you have so many vowels in your name, Jeff. I love your last name. It's my favorite. I'm Bianco. Awesome. Wait, I'm waiting now. I really want to sign off, but Gary June's here. Yeah, and he has a question for me. Hey, Gary June, what's your question? Why did you sell me drugs as a child? To improve your mental state. When you see a kid that down, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. You did it again. Why'd you sell me drugs as a child? Wasn't me, man. Wasn't me. I wonder what the difference in safety having your coins on BlockFi earned versus just in BlockFi. My assumption is exactly the same, and that was a problem here too. A lot of people turned off their yield account, said, "Hey, it's fine. They're different, dude. When the coins aren't there, the coins aren't there." This is a better question. Why didn't you sell me drugs as a child? You're welcome, Gary. I got you, bruh. I never sold drugs as a child. Pop back the hat. Maybe we should rally hat this thing on the way out. Does that make it better if we put on the rally hat? Oh, focus. Focus. Trying to get into focus. The camera's not having it, which means, guys, 4-hour chart. What do you think? I don't know. I don't even look at it anymore. I would look at here. Maybe I'll look at it so that my camera can have some time to focus. Oh no, this is a 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart looks like the exact same bear pennant. I don't see anything different on the 4-hour chart. Cool. Glad we had this talk. Time for lucky shipment. Yeah, I'll get it. Yeah, to look at Scotty Woods, bro. Tiger Woods wears his hats like this, or at least he will after he watches this stream. Yeah, it would be a VGX whale. It's gonna be great. You are welcome, Drone. I'm trying my best. So, guys, tomorrow, I know Jeff Booth is going to be here. Dude, this hat looks fucking sweet like this. Why didn't anybody tell me? Jeff Booth is going to be here. Price tomorrow. One of my favorite authors and thinkers. Awesome. And I know Dave Weisberger is going to be here. And I know we're going to have some others too. Guys, it's been real. Please. Oh, check Bullish. They actually have deep liquidity. Volume. Rocking it. And if you choose to trade on Bullish, you custody your own coins and don't have to worry about any of this bullshit. The world of DeFi, decentralized everything is certainly looking super extra sexy right now. Yeah, guys, you got to come check out Jeff Booth tomorrow. He's going to make me feel so bad for leaving my coins on these platforms. Anywho, guys, that's all I got for you. I have to go do more furniture shit. Being a dad is hard. Being a husband's hard. Man of the house. Emmy actually used the term man of the house this morning at me. You need to get that done before your stream. You're the man of the house. I'm going to go prove it right now. Been real, guys. Talk to you later. Peace.